Hey everybody, Jamie Starr, New World News Network here. Today I'm going to do a few videos, two of these dealing with one of my least favorite topics, cultural appropriation. And cultural appropriation is probably one of the worst byproducts of this sort of Marxist mindset of, dividing everything up into identity groups. I always think of it in terms of the Dave Chappelle skit of the racial draft, where it's like, you'll have, there was this skit where, like, Wu-Tang got drafted to being Asian, and Tiger Woods got drafted to be black. And I mean, it's basically what goes on here. And I don't think these people even know it's what they're doing, and it's how silly it ends up being. I'm gonna do this one on the Beyoncé stuff, and then Iron Fist. So start off. In Canada, Ashton removes Beyoncé meme after backlash from Black Lives Matter. So you have NDP leadership candidate Nikki Ashton has removed a meme from her social media accounts after being criticized for appropriating black culture. Ashton posted a meme on Facebook, to the left, here you see it right there. And then Black Lives Matter Vancouver. And I'll tell you, Black Lives Matter, I don't know what the history of black people is in Canada, but they are thirsty. They are a bunch of thirsty bitches looking for something to bitch about all the time. I think when you can get your panties in a bunch and huff and puff and try to make some intellectual argument about why someone is not allowed to post a fucking blue square with three little words on it repeated twice. I mean, if you look at what's actually being done and don't pay attention to this intellectual, oh, well, cultural appropriation, the culture has constantly been stolen and raped and pillaged, and Indians, pilgrims, slavery, and it's all in this, it's this mind fuck where it's like they'll just blurt out these buzzwords to people, and to people who are very heavily programmed by this stuff, it's like it makes it capitulates. That's all it does. It's like twisting their arm, literally, as you're like, slavery, Indians, pilgrims, raped, pillaged, land stolen from the Indians, Mexicans. Like, it's like twisting their arm behind their back. It's ridiculous. But it's exactly what happened here, because this chick published this shit, and then as soon as you see Black Lives Matter, appropriating black culture is not intersectional feminism. What are you even saying? Intersectional feminism? What does this mean? Appropriating black culture is not intersectional feminism. No, appropriating black culture is appropriating black culture, and who cares? What is this whole idea of appropriating culture? They don't understand how culture is created. The other day Chuck Berry died, and I didn't realize on Lionel Nation, Lionel does a really good bit on how much of a degenerate Chuck Berry was. I mean, he basically liked his bathroom activities in the bedroom, if you know what I mean, and into all sorts of fucking nonsense, nasty ass bullshit. But as soon as he dies, everyone's like, oh, Chuck Berry. And people do this like, black people invented rock and roll. If it wasn't for black people, you wouldn't have no music. Black people, we did it all. We was everywhere. We was kings. We was everyone. But, and it's like, all right, you got some black chick holding a guitar in some pictures. That's cool. Okay, Chuck Berry. That's cool. But who's been carrying the torch for decades? And frankly, I don't see the majority of black people interested in listening to rock music. So why would there be a large demographic of black people making rock music. I mean, there are some. I know have some black friends who like rock music. Some of them drive around, fucking being gangster, listening to the Beatles and John Mayer and shit. It's not like, I'm not talking in absolutes. I know I don't have to preface things with that, but you know what I'm saying. You just can't hold up two and that be like, oh, there were these two that started it, therefore it's drafted to our team. It's fucking stupid. I use hip hop as an example, and people try to just deny this. The majority of hip hop was made on the Akai drum machine. Now, there was lots of other music made on it, lots of pop music during that time. But the Japanese made it, but hip hop gave it its legacy. I mean, that's the easiest way to look at it. The Japanese invented this product, but the legacy of the product will always be known by what black people did with it, what they created from it, the sampling, the beats, the music, the art, the genre. One gave to another, and it created something amazing. That's how culture is created. So this whole argument of cultural appropriation and you can't do this and they can't do that and this is only for this sorts of, I mean, it's segregation. It's cultural segregation. That's what it really is. It's racism. But I get offended as an artist and as a creator because sometimes I think like, what if I had to place myself under their, mindset? I would just not do anything. Nothing would be safe to do because there isn't anything that you can't say. Music is math. It's just combinations of math, and you can break it down into it. Everything repeats. Everything's always been done. That's why I kind of joke about friends of mine being on the quest for originality or the seeking obscurity, where they'll just want to do things that are so far out of the box thinking it's original, and then it's like, no, the reason no one's done this before is because it sounds like shit. No one wants to listen to it. But anyway, back to this. We removed it. Not our intention to appropriate. We're committed to a platform of racial justice. Would appreciate your feedback. As noted, I appreciate the message from Black Lives Matter Vancouver. Showing respect is what building a movement is all about. Here you have her. She is just falling on her knees, being like, I took it down. Is there anything else I can do for you? Will you support me? Can I get your vote? You're black, and that's what matters. I need black people around me. Like, it's roll them out, bunch of props, tokenism, all the way, and it's all done in this. I will not tolerate racism or hate speech directed at BLM or any community. Who was talking shit to them? You just pissed them off, and now you're out here being like, I won't stand for you picking on them. They just took issue with you. You see the shift? Ashton is campaigning to move NDP further leftward and has gone out of her way to pitch. Wow, Canada is going to be like a communist country before you know it. At her campaign launch in Ottawa, she praised Black Lives Matter for challenging racism in Canada, saying that the movement was made very clear how real racism is in our country. If you have to assert that something's real, chances are it isn't. You don't have to like call me up and be like, yo man, I went to the car dealership, I bought a Volkswagen, and I had to make sure my Volkswagen was really real. Oh, word? So you sure you got it? It's in the driveway. Yeah, man, my Volkswagen is real. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to assert, oh yeah, I'm picking up a pizza. Oh, are you really? Yeah, man, the pizza's real. What, you don't believe me? I'm getting the pizza, it's real. Pizza's real out here. Struggle is real. Racism's real. We all real. Well, she blew out that social media fire. She was then promptly criticized online for acquiescing in a knee-jerk fashion. Yeah. It's not at all clear how using a Beyoncé meme, I assume that's what's being referred to as anti-black. Apologizing for using a Beyoncé lyric is abhorrent, capitulation, embarrassing. Have a backbone. How is using a Beyoncé meme appropriating traditional black culture? Please explain. As usual, those who cry foul the loudest are the worst offenders. Wow, what a joke. As a socialist myself, what is this? Repeating song lyrics is appropriation. Can only black people repeat her lyrics? That's what the message would be. And then, you have here saying, oh, BLM, Beyonce, Lemonade, oh, Beyonce. And of course, because I'm a fucking nerd, and I Wikipedia everything I listen to, I knew immediately that what goes on. First of all, everything you hear on the radio, top 40 radio at least, is only created by a handful of people. And that's why you'll see articles, and you can pull them up. AI scans the past 50 years worth of music, finds that it's all getting more uniform, more similarity in the chord structures, the structures of the songs, the lyrics are getting simpler. It's the sort of nursery rhyme music that's out nowadays. Everything is going through a small handful of people, whether it be Dr. Luke, Benny Blanco, Stargate. Some of these times people will just pop up on the scene like Sia, and they've really been writing for everyone behind the scenes for a while. Carrie Hilson was like that. Neo was like that. And here we can see the Beyonce song, Irreplaceable. Irreplaceable is a song by American singer Beyoncé. Notice it didn't say African singer. Beyoncé, for her, even though it's appropriating African culture. Her second studio album, B-Day. The song was written by Neo, Tor Erik Hermansen, Mikkel S. Eriksson. Those don't sound like African names. Espen Lind, Amund Björklund. Those don't sound like African names. So, who are all of these people? Well, Neo, we should know. Neo is a top 40 mainstream music artist. He was one of these people that was writing for a bunch of people, and then they finally put him out. And part of it, they told him he wasn't marketable at first, and for a while he was wearing a hat for a while, because he has a big head, so maybe that's why. But anyway, Stargate is the first pairing of Tor Erik Hermansen and Mikkel Eriksson, or Michael Eriksson. Stargate is a Norwegian recording, producing, songwriting team. They've done songs for Beyoncé, Neo, Rihanna, and numerous other people. Here you can see a list. Newer songs, Confident, Try Everything, Only Girl in the World, Firework, Katy Perry song, Black and Yellow, rap song, Try Everything. So, like a Demi Lovato song. They haven't been doing too much lately. Oh, singles, Waterfall with Pink and Sia. So, these are one of these groups, and especially during that period with Neo and 2006, the mid-2000s, what they do is, and the other group right here, Espionage, New York-based Norwegian songwriting music production team. They worked on Trains, Hey Soul Sister, Emily Sandé, Train, Tiny Tempa, Matthew Morrison, more Train, David Cook, Jennifer Hudson, Neo, Mary J. Blige, Esme Denters. So you see a whole bunch of people. When what they did is they pair up Neo, because here you see Neo, and it's the demo for Umbrella, which is the Rihanna song, produced by those guys. Spotlight, the Jennifer Hudson song, produced by Stargate. And Irreplaceable, the Beyoncé song. So they just get a good-ass writer like Neo, pair him up with the hot-ass producers, they basically do an album together, then they just sell it track by track to all these different artists, where, they have Neo do an album with these people, then they got Jennifer Hudson, Rihanna, so-and-so, all get a track from him, put that on the album. Ryan Tedder, the singer of One Republic, thing. each of them get a song from him. So Beyonce just karaoke'd it. I mean, and there were more white people working on the writing and production of the song, the actual hard work, compared to Beyonce. But it gets drafted to Team Black, because that's how cultural appropriation works, apparently. But, like I said, it's really something that kills culture because, wouldn't you rather acknowledge that it was a work of art with 4 Norwegian immigrants, black guy from Atlanta, I believe, Beyonce's from Houston. So you have all these people coming together and creating this product. I mean, you can look at Beyonce's album, for example, this album. She gets all the credit for it. Look at all these producers right there. That's not even the writers. You want to go down to her credits? Look at all these people. All of them. All these people. You got Darkchild. You got her sister in there. Swiss Beats. Pharrell. Curtis Mayfield got a writing credit. She probably just used one of his lyrics. I mean, there's so many people and so much work. Garrett, Dean, that go into these things, and even especially the newer ones. I Am Sasha Fierce was a good album, but even that, you had a bunch of Ryan Tedder, Babyface, there's Stargate again on a Broken Hearted Girl, Diz 2, The Dream, Bangladesh, Sean Garrett in Bangladesh again. So you got all these people, well-known people, fucking people who put out their own albums that do well. Look at the list of producers. Like, the fact that Beyonce gets notoriety, like, out of this. It's the same thing when Deadmau5 was asked what he thought about Justin Bieber's album because Skrillex was working on it. Deadmau5 just came back and said, "Oh, you mean the new Skrillex album that features Justin Bieber?" He said, "Because that's what it really is." And not even at that, it was a Blood Diamond album, who now goes by Blood Pop. He was a producer I really liked, got picked up by Skrillex, now he's producing for Justin Bieber. That's how the shit works. But anyway, cultural appropriation. Fuck that shit, kills culture, and stagnates it. Have a good one everybody, and check out the video about Iron Fist, because I'll be complaining about the same thing in a different way.